This is Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcast Network, and I'm your host, Mark. Welcome to the third installment of our Spinal Tap series. In this episode, we welcome 4 members of Teen Cancer America: Nathan Hooper, Savannah Mason, Juan Razuri, and Elissa Waller, as well as the co-founder of the Play It Back program, Kenli Mattus. They all participated in the Spinal Tap project by recording a version of the Majesty of Rock from Spinal Tap's second album, Break Like the Wind. Turns out, a lot of them were not familiar with Spinal Tap, the band, prior to the project. We get some history about the program and how it was started, how each of my guests became involved with the program, and their approach to making the Spinal Tap song their own. Please check out each of these amazing artists' music. They tell you how at the end, but just as important, please pick up a copy of the album that they worked so hard on, The Majesty of Rock, a Spinal Tap tribute for Teen Cancer America. You can go to teencanceramerica.org/product/spinal-tap, or just go to Teen Cancer America's website and hit the shop button. Your donation gets you 35 Spinal Tap covers, but it does so much to help adolescents and young adults diagnosed with cancer. Thank you to Teen Cancer America, the Play It Back program, and the Pantheon Podcast Network for all the support and guidance, their belief in this project, and helping to get it over the goal line. Please enjoy this episode with the Play It Back players from Teen Cancer America on the Pantheon Podcast Network. So, I was looking up as much information as I can on you guys, and I see in your photo you have a Tennessee. I'm sorry. I'm doing my master's through Alabama. So.
Okay, so we're kind of rivals.
A little bit. So, all right, we got Nathan and Kenli.
Oh, yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. All
right, cool. I have my sweet hype mic here that I shouldn't be using. I'm overcomplicating my audio. Actually, I have my band. We have a gig tomorrow on Montana Avenue in Santa Monica, and they're like in there for extra rehearsal, so I let them use the studio. So,
nice.
I'm in my living room, actually.
Oh, man, nice.
Which I never am. I'm always in the studio, as they'll tell you.
That's awesome. I like hearing that.
Yeah. I live in the studio. There's Elissa.
Hey, Elissa.
Mm-hmm. Elissa.
Oh, uh-oh. We couldn't hear you, Kenli.
Did I freeze?
Yeah.
I said you have mic 2.
Jason.
Sweet.
Hey.
Hey, Juan.
Hi, sorry about the delay.
No worries at all. So,
you're 1 minute late.
You're right on
Unacceptable.
time.
I was going to make a dumb joke, and I'm going to refrain. I'll make enough of them during the podcast.
I was also going to make a producer joke.
Yeah.
He's like, he likes the delay. He's a producer.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even think about that.
Sorry, my dog. This is something I don't have to deal with in the studio. My dog doesn't like to be in the studio. Hey. I know. That's the band coming. That's what's happening. The band is coming. And
you're coming in okay, by the way?
There they are. What's that?
If my audio was coming in all right.
Yeah, your audio is good.
Okay, great.
Before we get started in everything, I just wanted to thank all of you for doing this project. I mean, it was the song, and I'll talk about this when we get into it, but the song is the highlight of the entire album. It's amazing.
Yay.
Nice. Cool. That's always nice to hear.
It is, honestly. I mean, we've got some pretty sweet people on there, but I mean, I don't know. There's nothing as special as what you guys did. So I wanted to thank you, because it would be a really cool project without your contribution, but with it just makes it incredibly special. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So cool.
Happy to be a part.
Thank you.
I think just in case it's the first time anybody's heard the podcast or one of the Spinal Tap series that I'm doing, let me give a little bit of background about this, because I don't even know if you guys know the whole background about how this came around. So for everyone's elucidation, let me tell you how it happened. So I do this podcast, and I've been doing it for about 7-8 years, something like that. Getting close to 500 episodes. And about 3.5 years ago, I had a gentleman on named Lyle Heisen from a band called the Royal Arctic Institute. They were promoting a new album and all. And Lyle has been in music for a long time. He's the co-founder of Bank Robber Music. And before he did all of that, he was in a band called Das Damen. They were an late 80s, early 90s kind of rock, leaning towards grungy band. And they did all kinds of tribute albums. Back in like the late 80s through mid 90s, tribute albums were everywhere. They were doing tribute albums to everybody. And Das Damen did a lot of them to try to get their name out. So one of the ones they did was for a band called the Ruddles. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the Ruddles, but if you haven't, it's okay, because they were a fake band. It was a band that was it was a movie that was written by a few members of Monty Python. The movie was produced by George Harrison of the Beatles, and the entire premise was that this band they influenced the Beatles. Everything the Beatles did was based off of the Ruddles. And I'm like, that is an insane idea. You're doing a tribute album to a band that didn't exist. That just blows my mind. So we're talking, and during the podcast, he was like, well, did anyone ever do anything for Spinal Tap? Because if you did one for the Ruddles, the next logical step is to do a Spinal Tap one. So as we're recording, I'm looking it up. I'm like, no one's ever done one. So I'm like, well, hell, I'll do one. So I reached out to a whole bunch of former podcast guests, and I said, hey, look, I'd love to do a tribute album to Spinal Tap, because I love the movie. And this is way before they had any word about the sequel coming out or anything. So a bunch, I got 11 people, because there's 11 songs on the original soundtrack, and I got 11 people to say, yeah, well, I'll record it for you, no problem. So then it was, well, who do I give the money to? Because this is going to be a charity project. So who do we do that for? So I was thinking, well, St. Jude or Teen Cancer America. And as I thought about it, I realized the podcast network I'm a part of had a relationship already with Teen Cancer America. So I said, all right, that's an easy pick. Founded by members of The Who. It's a musical project, no brainer. And that's when things started kicking into high gear. That was about a year after I started the project. So about 2.5 years ago, they started getting their ambassadors involved in it. And I believe it was Simon Davies who suggested we get the people from Play It Back to do a song. And I said, that is brilliant. How did we not think of that in the beginning? Let's do that. And that's how you guys got involved in this whole project. And there have been several delays, because all of my deadlines were made up by me for no reason at all. I would just pick a date. I would love to have this song in by this date. So then news of the sequel came out. And we said, all right, well, let's try to align this with the sequel to get the biggest bang for our buck. It's, publicity wise. And then there were delays in the movie. And so the project got delayed. So it is finally, as we're recording this, it has been out for about a week. And I have no idea what's going on with it right now, because they're about to really start doing a heavy promotional run with this thing. So I am excited, and I hope you guys are excited. There's at least 5,000 people are gonna listen to this, and then once that's done, we're gonna go back and say, hey, look, we sold out of this super fast. Let us, give us permission to sell more, because we only have the rights for 5,000 downloads. But they gave it to us for free, which Sony and Universal, thank you guys so much, because that's amazing. They didn't have to do that. So hopefully things will be exploding by the time this comes out, and we can go back to them and say, hey, let us have some more free rights, and let us actually make a physical product, which would be amazing. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. So that's my quick, not so quick history about the project. And as I mentioned to you guys, the Majesty of Rock that you all participated in is the highlight of the album. I mean, it's not very often that you get to do something like this, period. But when you get people from the organization who directly have a direct link to the reason you're doing this and the programs involved in it, it's just so special. So I am just so happy to have you guys. And let me introduce everybody. We've got Elissa Waller, we've got Juan Razuri, Nathan Hooper, and Savannah Mason. And we have the co-founder of the Play It Back program, Kenli Mattus, on with us. And we're going to talk about the Play It Back program, a little bit of Spinal Tap, and find out about what you guys are all up to and how you got involved in this project. So the first thing I want to ask each of you is, before doing this project, did you know about Spinal Tap? Had you ever seen the movie? So I'm going to kind of go in order that you guys are on my screen. So Elissa, have you seen the movie before starting this project?
No, I hadn't heard about it before.
So you hadn't even heard of it.
No, I mean, I've had a Spinal Tap.
Oh man, I kind of should have known that was coming.
Yeah, you have a bunch of young adult cancer survivors here. Like maybe I don't know. I might be the only one that has needed. Okay, now Nathan too. Cool. Yeah, you're in a room with people that get Spinal Taps.
Amazing. But as far as the movie's concerned, you hadn't heard of it.
No.
Man, did you hear this? These go to 11 or turn up to 11. None of that. Oh my!
None of it.
Kenli, I am so old. This is disgusting.
I'm sorry, man. Happens to the best of us.
All right.
My dad taught me the movies from my dad were Bill and Ted and Wayne's World. And so was it like the same time, same audience?
Same audience. It came out about 10 years before those. Maybe a little less.
You're younger than my dad. It was old enough for your time.
Well, I would appreciate that. I have no idea about that, but we can talk about that later. All right. Juan, what about you? Had you heard of Spinal Tap, the movie, not the procedure, or seen it?
I'm in the same boat. I have never even heard of it.
Wow.
Yeah, no, never. Kenli schooled me on it when I first found out about the project, and even then I was like, this is the most random thing I've ever heard of. I guess this has something to do with cancer and us, because Spinal Tap, I thought of that same thing when I first heard about it, but I've never heard of it.
Oh my gosh. All right, Nathan, please, somebody have heard or watched the movie, please.
Yeah, I'd heard of it before.
Thank you, Nathan.
Well, I have to credit my parents too for that, because they kind of indoctrinated me with all the classic rock growing up. So The Who was actually one of the first bands I was really into. Oh, so cool. Getting plugged in with Teen Cancer America was really cool for me. But yeah, I'd growing up, we'd share all the references this goes to 11,
right?
Or spontaneous combustion,
right?
Happens to millions of people every year, just not recorded.
They choked on someone else's vomit.
Yep.
Savannah, how about you? Let's keep that roll going. Did you hear about it?
Yes, I'm similar to Nathan. My parents also raised me listening to a lot of 80s music and 80s movies. I know my parents have seen the movie. I know I've heard them talk about it. I don't know that I've ever watched it, but yeah, I definitely heard about it.
But you were aware of it.
Yes.
Okay, so we had a 50-50 split here. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. All right. So Kenli, I know you had to have been familiar with it.
Yeah, I definitely heard of it. And I think I must have seen it on a VHS tape or something. So.
Yeah, same here.
And maybe from a Blockbuster rental or something. But I'd heard about it. I played in rock bands my whole life. So, that's a classic rock band mockumentary.
Oh, yeah.
Tell was having Lenny as the the lead singer. We all were like, wait a second, this isn't real, because that's the dude from Laverne and Shirley speaking in an English accent. So that's kind of what gave it away.
Yeah,
and these guys don't know, but one of the main characters in the movie played like a side role in probably the second most popular sitcom in like the early 1980s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's fun, and the guy who played the producer was a main character in All in the Family. Yeah, Meathead, Rob Reiner. So, and he's been a huge producer, so he's been behind the scenes more than in front of the camera. But and then Harry Shearer, who played the bassist, went on to do Simpsons and all kinds of things that everybody knows. Again, a lot of voice stuff behind the scenes, but the movie itself has just so many people who had enormous careers through the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Dana Carvey was in it. Billy Crystal was in it. Fran Drescher. Paul Schaefer. Bruno Kirby. And then, Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer. Have you guys gone, since the project, have you watched the movie at all? Have you gone back and checked it out?
I think I did with my mom. One time.
How was it?
Wait, we're talking about the original one?
Yes.
Yeah. It's hilarious. I think you guys would enjoy it a lot. It's just a lot of. I think I relate to the sense of humor. I don't know. I have a weird sense of humor, so who knows? But
so the premise is it's a British rock band. They're billed as one of Britain's loudest bands, which that's the kind of stupid, subtle humor that permeates this whole movie. They're not good. They're loud. So they've gone in and out of the public eye for years, and so they're doing a comeback tour, and it's supposed to be it's a mockumentary. So they're supposed to be documenting this tour, and the just stupid things happen to this band. Like for instance, one of the most famous things is that they want a prop for the stage they want to add a prop in the middle of their tour, and so the guitarist Nigel Tufnell, played by Christopher Guest, he sketches out one of the Stonehenge monoliths on a napkin, and they want it 18 feet tall. So they give it to this artist. The manager goes a few weeks later to find out she has this model, the smaller model, and he goes, so is it going to look like this when it's the full size thing? They have the contours and everything. She's like, well, what are you talking about? Well, when you build the full size one, she goes, well, this is it. You gave me a napkin and it said 18 inches on it. So she built a Stonehenge monolith 18 inches instead of 18 feet. And so that's the kind of dumb humor that I love, and that's in this movie. And it's one of those movies where you can watch it. I watched it when I was probably like 10, 12, and the stupid humor was what really made me laugh. And as I got older, I started to notice the subtle humor, the more the humor between the lines, and the music. I started paying attention more to the music, and the music was written by the guys in the band, the actors, and it's hilarious. And the song you did was actually from the second album that they did in the 90s. So it's not on the original soundtrack. And for some reason, I don't know if it was like the 10th anniversary or whatever was going on, but they decided to do a second album with all new music. And the Majesty of Rock was on that album. And they did not really a fake tour. They actually did tour, but it was insane. The whole movie is just amazing. I want to find out a little bit about the song that you guys did, and then I want to learn more about you guys and the program itself. But you guys recorded an incredible version of the Majesty of Rock, and to me, that song, I'm curious as to why that song was chosen. I have a feeling. The song to me sounds like it encapsulates everything about the Play It Back program. But is that the reason? I mean, when you listen to the lyrics, it's very positive and inspiring. Kenli, are you the one that chose the song? And if so, why that song?
Well, actually, the song was given to us, so we didn't have a choice.
Oh, nice.
And I hadn't heard the song before. I probably only knew off the top of my head, 3 or 4 of the songs that were in the movie, right?
Right.
And this one, so they told us, okay, I don't know if they told us or asked us, but they said, we want you to do this one. And so I checked it out, and I thought it was really funny. And as like the song goes on, it gets funnier. The lyrics get more absurd.
Right.
But I thought, how are we going to do this? Like, this is, part of it is just like steeped in the whole legacy of Spinal Tap, and they're performing it in the video. And like, if we kind of do it like this, I'm not sure like if it's going to be funny. So I thought, what if we do it like in this really earnest acoustic way where you can really hear the lyrics, and we could really like, we're not going to do a rock song, but sing about the majesty of rock. I guess in a way it's sort of like the Jack Black thing, the Tenacious D, where it's like they sing about the song that's the greatest song ever, but this particular song isn't it. Like that was kind of the idea. So it was like, and it was funny because at the time Juan was like essentially interning for Play It Back, kind of in a way. Like we'd worked something out where I got him a few internships. Honestly, wouldn't really know like what to, like I was like trying to figure out like what should Juan do. Like I'm calling up my friends and like let Juan come work with you, let Juan, and this sort of thing, because I just wanted to get him other things in LA to do in music, because he was doing music at school. And I was like, you know what, just do this with me right now, because like this is something that fell into our plate. So I sort of like he said, like schooled him on what this was. But then I was like, okay, this is what I think we should do. We should make it acoustic. And I was basically like, just go. Like I was like this, because I had so much on my plate. I'm like, you just go and make it. So he went back to his place, and he, I don't think, Juan, were you like recording in Logic before you started doing Play It Back?
Before Play It Back, no.
Right. So like he had come to the studio when he was 17 years old. Now, how old are you now? Like 23?
I'm 23. Yeah.
23. So when he was 17, he came with a violin, and he's like, I've never recorded, I've never written songs. I play a few instruments, like, and he, was pretty proficient as a violinist and played guitar and had done some drums and stuff, but that was it. And so like, now this is like 4 years into it, or 3.5 years into it, where he's like, we've recorded, I don't know, like 10 songs together, that he's written a bunch of songs. He's released stuff on his own. He started producing on his own. So I knew at this point, like I could trust that he would just get to it and get at it. So like when he comes back to me with it, I thought, and I apologize if I'm telling too much of the story, but this is just what I remember about it.
No.
This was, okay. It was like really cool and really beautiful. And I remember thinking, okay, well, we got to work on the mix, and we got to have like other playback artists sing on this. So that was kind of where we were. And then, then I also thought, well, Nathan, who's a fantastic guitar player and multi-instrumentalist who's here as well, I was like, well, we got to get Nathan to play on it. We were just kind of thinking, like, how can we kind of, reach out to other people? And so I'm like, oh, Elissa should sing on it, Savannah should sing on it, and Sarah sang on it. And someone else came into the studio, Olivia, she sang on it. We had different ideas. We had a guy who sang kind of opera, who does other stuff, and like had him sing in the end. So some people sang, little tiny parts, and then some people sang full verses. And I feel like everyone kind of sang the whole song, and then we kind of did like bits and pieces of what we thought was working. But, we definitely like went back to everyone and was like, well, because at first everyone was singing it just normal. Okay. And I'm like, it's too normal. I'm like, we need to really milk this a little bit, because it's got to be like super earnest. Like you're telling a story, and it's a really stupid story, but it's a story. It's like, you don't need to tell everyone about how great rock is, because rock is great, but that's the funny bit of the song, is like they're describing how great rock is in a really bad way. So I was like, so you really have to be earnest. You're like telling a story. You're almost like a narrator. And so then like, I remember Nathan did his track, and I want to let everyone talk about their experience with it. Yeah. But I'll just say, for example, Nathan took the production advice and was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And so like, you can hear, like, he's like, the majesty of, as opposed to like the majesty of rock, singing it normally. So that was sort of all very intentional. But it did start with we call Juan JC, but it started with Juan's track with the nylon string guitar and this kind of almost like medieval vibe that he put into it, which is just absurd, because I don't think he really knew that there was some of that in the original movie with the Stonehenge thing. Right. Kind of faux medieval, like, lute and, thing kind of going on. Wow. He did that anyway. So it really was just like perfect.
That is amazing. I love it. I mean, the song gets so big. It almost sounds like it should be in a theatrical production. Like it could be done on Broadway or something. The way you guys did it, it's because it is very different from the original, and it's it's incredible. So yeah, and like Kenli said, I do want to hear about everybody's experience with it and what your part was, how you got involved with it. So we're going to kind of go opposite. So Savannah, how did you get involved in this project?
Yeah, so I joined Play It Back in like 2022, I believe. And for this particular project, I remember, me and Kenli had been meeting pretty much weekly for our Zoom sessions. And I remember him reaching out and just being like, hey, we've got this, this new song opportunity and would love for you to record some vocals for it. And so I was really excited. I had never heard of Majesty of Rock or anything like that. But I do remember recording vocals and it being kind of like normal vocals at first. And then I do remember Kenli reaching out and being like, yeah, we need to kind of, like you said, milk it a little bit and change it up and make it pop, I guess, and make it unique. And so I do remember spending quite a bit of time trying to like redoing my vocals over and over again to try and make it pop, I guess, and just being really theatrical with it, which was a lot of fun for me.
I love it because it gets, and overblown is kind of not the right word, but it becomes as big
bombastic. Bombastic. That's what we were going for.
Yeah.
We're going for bombast.
And that's exactly what Spinal Tap is, which is one reason why I love this track so much. Nathan, what about you? How did you get involved with the song?
Pretty much the same thing. I think Kenli just texted me one day, and it was a fun project to do. Like, I think at that point, I've been working on original songs mostly, and we'd written a few songs together that we were he was helping me. Kenli was helping me, giving me tips on how to record at home, and so that was something that I was just trying to figure out at that time.
Oh, cool! Was
how to record by myself in my bedroom, using the gear that I had, and how to get like a good sound. And that's the same for a lot of playback artists too. Is like we have this when we join the program, like a lot of times we'll get like gear shipped to us from Teen Cancer America.
Oh wow!
From the playback program. So
that's awesome.
I got some interfaces too from Play It Back that were kindly donated to me, and I'm able to use that too. I'm still using that gear too to this day. But yeah, I remember doing like a normal vocal take also, and then it's like, make it more theatrical. And I was like, okay, I can do that, because I was still learning how to sing too. I'm like, I was singing or at least recording my singing was new to me at that point too. But I like how, I just like that style of music too, kind of like rock operas, dig into those. So it was definitely fun. Awesome. And I forget if I played guitar on it too, but I played. Yeah,
guitar. You did.
Okay,
you did.
Yeah,
you added your guitar to it as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was fun too. Yeah.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. All right, so JC, can I call you JC? Everyone else seems to be.
Absolutely, if you want. Absolutely.
Really? All right.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So what did you think about this project? Kenli kind of gave us the rundown on how you got involved, but what did you think about it?
I threw it at him. So I was like, do this.
He might as well have had it.
Yeah.
The whole project might as well have been like a ball that he literally threw at me. No, we were just at his studio and he just randomly said like, hey, I have something that I was going to do it, but I want you to do it. And so I was just, oh, okay. And it went from, I guess in general, like to summarize, I was more in like the producer production kind of role for this. And there's also some of my vocals in there. And I just went from not knowing anything about Spinal Tap to us, Kenli, like trying to crash course 5 minutes, tell me about Spinal Tap and what it is, and I was just like so confused. Like, okay, it's a fake band that actually kind of is a band, but it isn't, but it is. Right. And then just tell me about like how like okay the most important thing that really helped me, that was my North Star, that I kept like in my mind the whole entire time, was what Kenli said earlier about the funny part about this, the really cool part about this will be these absolutely insane lyrics with almost like earnest and thought-provoking and emotional acoustic production and whatever, and that was when I was like, okay, I love this like ironic stuff going on here. I'll let this take me to where it needs to go. And yeah, I don't know, it was really fun, and it got even more fun when everyone got involved and started sending in their vocals and everything, and hearing what everyone brought to the table, and it was just so much fun.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So, all right, Elissa, your turn. How did you get involved, and what were you thinking while you were doing it?
Yeah, so Kenli and I have been making music together for almost 5 years now. I think probably closer to 4. And yeah, we do all sorts of stuff and play it back, kind of like adding in extra parts to each other's tracks. And this is just another one of those. Kenli's like, hey, can you record this for me? And it's kind of funny listening back to it. So the music I write is kind of like, I mean, I sing all sorts of styles, but the music I write is usually like punk, ska type of stuff. But in the real world, I'll perform like jazz and choral music. And listening back to this song, we were trying to make it more earnest. I sang in more of a choral style when it was asking for more of that rock, which I think just adds to the kind of fun, silly aspect of it.
Oh, and that's
Elissa. I just want to say, Elissa's one of the things, like these things would happen where I think at one point she was just riffing over the instrumental bit, which I don't even know if it must be a part of the song that Juan did, but and I was like, that's perfect. It's like this ethereal, like kind of like whimsical, like elfish kind of thing. And I was like, we totally like put some reverb on it, and like that's the bridge. Like there you go. And like I don't know what the intention was, but it all just came together perfectly. And I just want to say, like, one of the things, I don't know if this is in every business, but I think with music, it's like, just go, you know what I mean? Like, just do it. Just, I didn't want to explain too much because I didn't want to hold everyone's hands. And I was just kind of like, and also I'm doing like 6 things at once. So I'm just like, I had to trust them. It's like, I treat them the opposite of how I treat my daughter. I'm like, just trust them, just go and do it, and we'll figure it out, and let's just go. And it just like really worked out perfectly. And that bridge vocal is one of those things that I think of too.
So, all right, Kenli, off the top of your head, how do you know how many of the people in the playback program are on the song, either production wise or actually playing or singing?
Yeah, Steven's not here today in the session right now, so he was on it. That's the opera. I mean, he does a lot of stuff, but he also is like a sort of what we say legit singer. So he had some opera stuff that he sang into his phone actually, and it made the record. Wow. And then Sarah, who's been very involved in playback, also she's in LA. She's not here right now, but she might have sang. I don't remember if she sang the second, like part of the second verse or whatever. But yeah, so she sang. So that's six people.
Wow.
And and Olivia, right? So Olivia, she was in the studio and she was working on something else, and she had been like in and out of the hospital and stuff. And I was just like, oh, you're here, and I was just happy that she was like able to sing it. And I just taught her the part right there, like just sing this, and she sang the breakdown. So she's on this now, and really so cool how it came together. I mean, when something's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I wanted to mention that opera vocal at the end. So Steven sang something on the opera vocal, and I just thought it needed like just one other thing to put it over the top. And so I was like, I hadn't really sung on it, I don't think. And everyone sort of inspired me. I was like, I'm just going to do a ridiculous, like, rock and roll will never die. At least I hope it won't, which is kind of like my inner thing for all people who are into rock. You're kind of like, you grow up thinking rock and roll will never die. And it's like, oh, wait a second, there's hip hop. Oh, wait a second, there's, now, whatever, like now, whatever country is probably, whatever it is, right? Rock and roll isn't the dominant music style necessarily, but we all love rock so much. So it was kind of like this. That felt very honest to say, like, at least I hope it won't.
Right. And very Spinal Tap.
Yes, exactly. Like you have this bombastic vocal, like this, big, you imagine like this sort of opera, whatever guy singing a Viking in a Viking hat singing this thing. And he's like, at least I hope it won't, so that was kind of the cherry on top, and that just was inspired by all these guys because they were just really they took the direction so well and ran with it, It was really, really cool.
That is incredible. And we've talked about the Play It Back program. I want to know more about the program itself. Like, Kenli, you co-founded this program. How did you start it? I mean, I believe I read that you were pursuing a career in music, and then in your spare time, you were singing to patients in hospitals.
Yeah. I mean, kind of like how I got involved in this. I was just like, I didn't even know what I was saying yes to. I just liked the person who asked me. That's kind of how I get involved in everything. It's like, if any of these guys ask me to do something, like, I don't really listen to what they're asking me to do. I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever you want to do, let's do it. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
So that was kind of what it was with that. But that was, in the 90s. And it was this friend of mine who is kind of like a long story, but I'll just say it was a friend of mine who got me, close to getting the lead in the show Rent at the time. And I was just like, had a really good time doing that. I never wanted to be on Broadway, but it was kind of a fun experience. And he was like involved with Sloan Kettering and said, hey, would you go and play in hospitals? And then from there, that just really clicked with me. So that's just something I did on a weekly basis, like in the 90s and the 2000s. I moved out to LA and kept doing it. And then once in a while, there'd be somebody in the hospital who like had a song they wanted to record. And I told them, hey, that's what I do is like my main thing is I produce I independently produce and started to do that. So then when one of the staff members at UCLA went to work for Teen Cancer America, that's Hillary Gann, she said, that thing that we were kind of doing at UCLA, just, for fun, I think we can really do that at Teen Cancer America. Let's try and do that. And so it was just like, okay. And so the next thing like it just had a life of its own. There was one young man who was outpatient at UCLA who was, like he liked producing and writing, but he hadn't done that much of it since he was sick. And we started working together and he just, did like 30 songs in a year. And then we just started adding people. And when COVID happened, we started to do it on Zoom. And that's why, we haven't talked about it today, but, Juan is in LA, but Savannah is in, as I like to say, the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. I guess near Chattanooga. Nathan is in Alabama via Nashville. Elissa is in Madison via Florida. So everyone's all over the country, and but we're able to do this. Steven was in Rhode Island when he did his vocals, and so it started off as people coming into the studio here and doing stuff here. But when COVID happened, we figured it out. And it's a blessing in disguise because now we have people in over like 30 states and over 70 people have gone through the program. And like, wow, we thought, we'll do like people come in and we'll do a song. But what we realized was like, it's a process where people keep writing and keep learning, and then a community started where we started to have these meetings on Mondays where people would meet up and meet each other, or obviously these projects like we're talking about now where people would do stuff with each other. And there's a lot of people with a lot of different kinds of cancer experiences. There's a lot of people who've had leukemia or brain tumors, but there's also, and in different age groups, because it's funny, a lot of people are like, oh, well, the kids. And like, I don't think of anyone who's in the group as kids because I learned from everyone. And even though, some of them I met when they were 16 or 17, like now they're in their 20s. I've known Juan since he's before he went to college and after college. And like, and same with Nathan, was in high school when I met him. So it's like the official age group of AYAs is 15 through 39. Our average age is probably at this point 23. But, that means that we have some people who are in their 30s and we have some people who are in their late 20s and we have some people who are, 18, 19. So I know it's a lot of information, but basically this has kind of got a life of its own. And I think we're all really proud of it, Well,
I think deservedly so, because it's an incredible program. How do people get started in it? Like how did the four young people here, how do they reach out to you and do they reach out to you, or is it something that they find through Teen Cancer America, or I'm not even sure how to phrase this question.
Yeah. I mean, how does somebody get involved? Right. I mean, it's been all different ways, right? Because it's been, like I said, like has a life of its own. Now it's been official for, 8 years. So where it first started as word of mouth, or maybe there was a nurse in the hospital who knew of a patient who knew of Teen Cancer America. Now we have a form on the website, and it's, kind of like an application. And, social workers across the country will tell young people who are going through cancer, like, oh, you like music? Well, there's a program I've heard about. So there's still a lot of word of mouth. And obviously shows like this, we've done a little bit of press where we've done like Good Day LA and we've done California Live. So people do hear about it that way. So that's mostly it. And I will say, like, we don't go shop around for people, because people who really want to do music find a way to do music. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so everyone here is really committed, which is so good for me, because I'm not begging people to make music with us. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be somebody who will hear this, will be like, oh, wow, you know, I know so-and-so, and they're of that age group, and I know they love to play guitar and write, but maybe they want to work with someone who's been, you know, professionally doing that for 30 years, and then we can do that. You know what I mean? So, but because it is a commitment too. You know, it's not just like, oh, you know, we love what we do and we play as we do it, but it's like, they'll all tell you. I mean, when I threw this at Juan, I wasn't like babysitting him. I was like, you can get this done. And he did. You know, when I work with any of these young people, I'm like, okay, well, you know, we got this started, like, make a demo of it and I'll see you next week. You know what I mean? And they do it, you know, and it takes work, and it takes like learning how to use some sort of, you know, digital audio workstation or recording on your phone. You got to take time away, or learning how to do background vocals. I mean, there's all sorts of things that there's a little bit of resistance to, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but they all are committed. And I think that's amazing, because I think that the things that a lot of the people that you're seeing here and more have gone through, you know, a lot of people just not sort of take the reins. And I just love that they do that, you know.
That I love this. So what kind of programs are involved in playback? So what when somebody joins, what can they expect? What can they do?
I mean, the core thing is, you know, essentially writing, learning to write, and you know, maybe learning to produce, and singing. Usually, I'd say, you know, almost everyone does love or learns to sing. So it's kind of like you know, you write songs, you record songs, you produce songs, and you have songs. And some people release them onto Spotify and SoundCloud, and you know, some people don't. You know, some people write, you know, 40 songs that they don't produce. We just do a demo, and we keep the writing process. You know, but I think it's somewhere in between there. And I think I'm curious to hear how you guys might describe what your experience was from kind of 0 to 60, as far as like, you know, so everyone here loved music and did music on a certain level, right? So like, I know that Nathan grew up playing a bunch of instruments, and Elissa has played gigs before, and you know, Juan learned a bunch of instruments. But like Savannah, for instance, like I would categorize you as like someone who like loved to sing in their shower, like maybe sang in the choir in high school, this sort of thing, right? So I'm definitely curious from your perspective, from everyone here, like, what was it like for you to sort of take different things to the next level and next level and next level? Like, I'm not sure if that's a great question, but maybe you guys could speak to that and sort of let them know how that worked for you guys.
Yeah, Savannah, why don't we start off with you, since you just mentioned you.
Yeah, so for me, like I mentioned earlier, I got started with Play It Back in 2022, just from kind of, you know, word of mouth. I had a family friend who knew of the program. I had never heard of it. And at the time, I was going through, or had just gone through, cancer treatment for my brain tumor. And so I was really feeling isolated, very alone, was searching for community, didn't know of anyone else my age or in my age range who had cancer. And so, you know, once I heard about Teen Cancer America and Play It Back, I was immediately interested, because like Kenli said, I've always enjoyed singing for fun, like in the shower, in the car. I also was in choir for about 7 years. And so,
oh, cool.
Never played any instruments, but I've always loved singing. And so, yeah, I think I filled out a form online, got connected with Brian, got connected with Kenli. And for me, I think what one of my favorite things through the process has been is songwriting, because I've also always loved writing, and I've written poetry. I still write poetry. And so just kind of learning how to transform some of my love for writing into song making as well. And then the way that my vocals have transformed through working with Kenli as well, and just the whole process of it. I feel like I started in a place to where I loved singing, but I didn't really know how to put that into something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a whole learning process for me in terms of like learning how to record at home, how to use a microphone, how to do all of that stuff. And Kenli and the whole, you know, Play It Back and Teen Cancer America staff has been really supportive, and making sure also that we feel connected to other Play It Back artists along the way. And so,
cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So, all right, Elissa, how about you?
Yeah, so I think it might be useful to kind of define what AYAs are first.
Good point.
Yeah. So what we call AYAs, it stands for adolescents and young adults. Those are the 3 letters, AYA. But specifically, patients between the ages who are diagnosed with cancer between the ages of 15 and 39.
Okay.
And the reason why we're grouped is because it's such a different, like, underserved specific patient population. There's a big focus on pediatric patients. And of course, pediatric patients always have a caregiver of some sort. Older adults usually have a partner or older adult child to take care of them. But 15 to 39, you could be at any point in your life, right? So you're dealing with starting salary, not on insurance because you just had to get off your parents' insurance, no savings, not knowing how insurance or the health system really works. So the AYA community is small and tight knit. And so there's a couple different programs but very few programs that serve this community. And Teen Cancer America is one of them. And super, grateful for them and their work that they do for us.
So what's been your favorite part of the program?
Yeah. So, obviously working with Kenli, that's where I've spent the most of my time. But I first got involved because the hospital where I got my second opinion, it was actually, like Kenli mentioned earlier, at Memorial Sloan Kettering, where he started doing this type of thing, was also at Memorial Sloan Kettering. Wow. That's where I got my second opinion. And they added me they have like an AYA app that it's kind of like a social media type of thing.
Oh, wow.
It could use some help. But the best thing that came from it is that they have a list of like programs, like, oh, here's some things that you can get involved with. Most of them were in person, and I was diagnosed in 2020 and I don't live in New York City. Yeah. So I wasn't able to go to those, but they did have in the programs the programming from Teen Cancer America on their schedule. And one of them was a makeup class with a drag queen, Scarlet Envy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's how I first got involved with Teen Cancer America. It was a Zoom call with her doing a makeup class, and they sent us makeup, which was awesome. And then from there, then they were doing, I think, like game nights maybe, or like hangout sessions with Teen Cancer America. They don't really do those anymore. But after going to a few of those meetings, some of the other people, Audrey was on there, and Alec. And so they were all there just hanging out. And they were like, wait, there's this like music program? How do I get involved with that? And I didn't reach out for a little bit because I assumed it would be really like hard to get into and selective. But then I finally did. I think I just asked Audrey, and then she gave me Kenli's number or something like that. And that was it.
Yeah, it used to be pretty casual, right? It used to be like very mom and pop. I mean, it's still kind of mom and pop, but now we have an official page and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
sorry, I just quickly say, because this is, evolving, it's all the young people you see here now and everyone who's not here, like they're help us, evolve the program and what works and what doesn't work as well. Yeah. And we try things anyway, go ahead, Elissa, sorry.
Yeah. So I was really excited to get involved with this because music has always been a huge part of my life. Both of my parents are music teachers. I've been in choir and band my entire life. Oh, wow. But voice has always been my primary instrument, I like to say. But yeah, choral and jazz. I sang with my jazz band in high school, and now I gig around just with like a guitarist or pianist doing awesome. Some jazz standards. Yeah, but one of the songs I wrote with Kenli was my own jazz original.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so now I sing that in my gigs.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The other songs are punk and ska, so that they don't really fit into the gig. But
I think you could probably make it work.
Yeah. So I had never written my own music before this program, and I'd always wanted to. I might have started, but not finished, or had an idea and couldn't make it work. And working with Kenli, I have music out now, and I have full, complete songs that I'm really proud of. And yeah, I don't think I ever would have done it without this program.
Oh, that is amazing. That is so awesome. Nathan, we'll jump to you. How about you? How'd you get involved and what's been your favorite part of the program?
Man, for me, I learned about Teen Cancer America and Play It Back through my social worker. I went to Children's of Alabama. It's a children's hospital in Birmingham. And so that's like a 2-hour drive from my home in Auburn, Alabama.
Oh, so Auburn.
Yeah, War Eagle.
Roll Tide, sorry.
Oh, boo.
I'll still keep you on the podcast.
Oh, you couldn't hear me. Go Gators.
Oh, shoot.
We got the whole SEC here. Oh, my gosh.
Go Wildcats.
We got. Oh, my gosh. We got a diverse group.
Welcome to sports with Teen Cancer America.
Oh, Juan, you can do it. You can do it, Juan.
Yeah, so it usually was like, since it is kind of a long drive for me to get to my hospital, then I would most always see my social worker when I would visit, even if it was just like a 1-day visit, and then I'd be heading back that afternoon. There were a lot of times where I'd be there, especially early on in my treatment, where I'd be there for a few weeks at a time, and then I'd head back. So I would see my social worker a lot, and we've grown pretty close. But one thing we'd bond over was music, because I learned that my social worker plays the drums, and he was in like cover bands. He was in a Ween cover band, and I'm a huge fan of Ween.
Oh, sweet.
And that was like the craziest thing when I first met him.
I've never heard of a Ween cover band.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yep. It's a strange thing to exist. But
that is amazing.
They're out there. Yeah, so my social worker, I think, just recently found out about Teen Cancer America when he shared it with me. But he showed me the website, and he showed me all of these bands and artists that were affiliated with Teen Cancer America. They're called Playback Homies. They're like musical guests that will come on Zoom sessions from time to time.
Oh, nice.
And like if you're plugged into Play It Back as like a cancer survivor or a cancer patient, then you can join these Zoom sessions called Music Mondays, and that's where we'll have guests and also do like trivia nights or stuff like that. Just to
nice
a way to connect with other cancer survivors, and so it's pretty cool. But that was what hooked me. I was like, man, like Portugal the Man was on there, Andy Grammer, people like that. And I'm like, man, I might get to meet these people on a Zoom session. So. And I have met them, so it's pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, you ended up playing guitar with St. Paul and the Broken Bones, right?
Yeah, so that was actually part of my Make-A-Wish. I realized I was being pretty adventurous with my Make-A-Wish, asking to play on stage with an artist. And so St. Paul and the Broken Bones is a band that I've been a fan of for ages. And so it was crazy that got to happen.
That's amazing.
But I think with Play It Back, I was able to receive so much like wisdom with mixing and songwriting and how to perform and like who I am as an artist,
Yeah.
And those discussions really helped me and figure out my voice in music. And so I'm a music major now, and I'm able to use all that for my grades.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is fantastic.
Nathan, one day, because of Play It Back now, one day you're going to be someone's Make-A-Wish.
I love that.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, man.
It would be pretty cool.
That would be amazing. All right, Juan, what about... Kenli, go ahead.
Quickly. No, I'm just going to say quickly, what you said, Elissa, is something that we've talked about as far as because we've had other playback artists, like, Juan did this track, for everyone to then, work on, and Nathan's, contributed his stuff, and you've all contributed to each other's things. So I do think that down the road, you're going to see playback alumni helping out new playback people, produce and write. And I definitely think that's going to be a thing. That's just a matter of time. So, which is so cool. Like, not anything we ever planned, it's just got, like I said, it's got a life of its own. It's bigger than all of us, which is so cool. But anyway, sorry. So Juan, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So how did you get involved, and what's been your favorite part of the program? I
was saying, that I got connected when, I was in the middle of treatment, and I'm not sure if, if this is a thing in like all of the different pediatric hospitals or pediatric like wings in the different hospitals out there, but I was at UCLA here in LA, and I had a child life specialist, which, I mean, for those who don't know, they're people who I thought for a moment, like, oh, are they nurses too? But they just focus on like kind of just helping with the whole treatment experience with like the patients, and being someone to like the easiest thing is like explaining how they are with pediatric, like really young kids, like they play with the kids, they bring toys and stuff like that. And for me, since I was older and I was an AYA, I was like 15, 16 at the time, my child life specialist was literally just someone I could talk to. Wow, just someone to talk with, and just having a friend. And while I was getting treatment, and my child life specialist, her name is Millie, and she knew about me being a musician and having music classes and playing instruments in high school, and she just told me one day, hey, you should check into this like program. There's this guy named Kenli who's a part of it. He's incredible. This whole thing is all about like making music and it's for cancer patients, survivors, and you should look into it. And that like opened the door for me. And kind of like how Kenli was saying earlier on, it was for me, I had never stepped foot inside a recording studio before. I just was a musician learning through like public school classes, and it was just something completely new, and honestly like the perfect next step in evolution with music, to be able to record my own things with his help, and to songwrite and start things from scratch, and to really explore like new things and new skills I had never thought were like an option for me to learn and practice in and everything. At the same time, I got into music school for music business at USC, so that this was all like super supplemental and helped me too. And I don't know, I guess the best part of it, I really split it into like two things for me. It's like, I see it as, it's been a great opportunity to really let the creative juices flow, and at the same time heal through like expression and getting stuff out there through songwriting and making it fun through production and everything, and making something that I'm proud of. And at the same time, just how Kenli was saying, that there are things that you wouldn't have even imagined to like come out of the program, and through like the evolution of it all, a community really started like building from it. And it wasn't really a thing when I started, and especially with like bringing people from out of state into the picture, which was really sick. And it just the community aspect is something I love, that no one saw it coming, and it just naturally developed. And it's been really great to meet so many people, and yeah, I don't know, to have that common denominator of not just having a cancer experience, but also loving music.
Yeah,
what else can you ask for?
Well, yeah, because, the music is what can define you. The cancer diagnosis isn't what will define you. It'll end up being the music that you've created. And I know you've, won a Grammy already, which is freaking insane. So I'm assuming music is a career path for you. But I would like to know from everybody else, is music a career path, or will it stay a hobby? So Nathan, I know you mentioned that you're going to school for it. So I'm assuming same thing. you want to pursue something in music as a career.
Yeah, that's the plan, I think, for right now. I'm studying music composition and technology at Auburn, which I think JC was studying that at in California, correct?
Yeah, partially that and business.
Yeah,
Smart.
Business.
Smart.
Yeah, good combo. Yeah. So kind of what I'd really love to do in the future is learn more about music therapy and how that affects the brain and how that can help people. I really love to check that out because I met with the music therapist at my hospital when I was receiving treatment, and he's a drummer too. His name was Walker at Children's, and I could tell he was used to a lot of his patients being a lot younger, and so he'd bring in just percussion items. But when he walked into my room, he saw that I had a guitar with me in the hospital room, and so we literally just spent like for a few days. We would just play together and just jam on different songs that we liked, and so it was a really cool experience because I hadn't done that in so long. Yeah. After I got diagnosed, so it's something I really enjoyed, and it brought that kind of familiarity back to me when I met with him. So
yeah, I can imagine something like that is a source of comfort in times like that. Savannah, what about you? Is it something that you want to pursue, or is it going to stay kind of a hobby?
Yeah, so to kind of go off what Nathan said, I'm actually a clinical mental health counselor in training, and so I'm graduating in December with my master's. Going to be working in the field as a counselor and music therapy. Yeah, music therapy is something that I'm really interested in pursuing. I love to sing. And so I definitely, in whatever capacity it may be, I want to keep music and singing in my life. Definitely open to whatever life throws my way. Open to different paths for sure. So I think I can speak for all of us in saying that this has been an incredibly therapeutic way for us to connect with ourselves, connect with other people, and make music that expresses our experiences and like our emotions. So that's why I love music and will always be connected to music.
Oh, that's beautiful. Elissa, I know you've mentioned that you performing. So is it something that you're pursuing professionally?
No, I mean, the couple gigs I do, I guess I'm professional then because I'm getting paid. But this was something I thought about a lot. Growing up, my plan was to be a famous Broadway performer, and not just on Broadway, but like everyone also knew my name, like, so many other Broadway stars that their names.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was, and then once I started once I was like maybe in middle school, I was like, wait, that's not actually a plan. Like, do I want to go to college? Like, what do I want to do? So I actually started thinking about it more. And by the time I did get to college, I decided that I can always have music in my life without depending on it for money and livelihood. And so I feel like it wouldn't be as fun if it was everything, right? Like if I wasn't getting that, if I wasn't booking gigs, I wasn't eating. Like I'd rather it's exciting when I book a gig because then, I just get to have so much fun. And so no, I'm not pursuing. It would be cool if one day someone's just like, hey, if you want to be a famous musician right now, you got it. But I know that's not how it works.
We've got an opening.
I'll take it. Yeah. But no, yeah. So I have, in quotations, a real job.
Okay. All right.
Although we do host conferences twice a year and I sing at every conference.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of I've gotten some gigs from that.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah. All right. So, Juan, I know we kind of jumped over yours a little bit, but because it seems obvious that you're pursuing music, but tell me a little bit about what you're doing. I mean, like you said, you won a Grammy. Tell me a little bit about that and where you're hoping to take this career path.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, just I feel like these past few years have just flown by so quickly, but I went.
It only gets worse as you get older.
Don't say it. The thing is, I mean, I feel like playback has been such an important part of everything for me because it just really helped me train and that creative muscle that I had with songwriting and production, and it helped me keep on practicing that. While like at the same time when I was in school, I was really going through like this kind of discovery phase of myself, and like professionally, like I already knew exactly that I wanted to do something in music professionally, but I wasn't sure exactly what it would be. And I was just really being able to figure out, oh, okay, I think I'm a stronger producer than I am a songwriter. Oh, I think I'm a better mix engineer than I am a producer. Oh, immersive mixing is coming really naturally to me, and it's really niche. Maybe I should push with this and see where this goes, and things like that. And even then, like, there were other more music business career paths that I was looking into, and just everything just kind of shaped its way where I eventually just got an internship, got a connection through school, like with the record label I work with the most, which is currently TDE, and I just am now basically like an opportunity came, I was prepared for it, and am now just like, well, these are the cards I have. The Grammy was something that I did not expect, neither did anybody at the record label expect. And now with that and all the work that I am doing currently for different labels and different independent artists, it's like, well, clearly I have something going on here. I need to keep on going. Like it really is such a figure stuff out in the moment, survive, keep going one day at a time. It's just me being really young and just barely a year and a half out of college. I've been thrown into the fire, for better or for worse, and now I'm just like, what can I do? I need to do as much as I can right now, more than ever, to make this a viable career path to be able to get food on the table. Kind of like how Elissa was saying, it's exactly what she was saying, or part of it was like what she was saying, where sometimes I've felt like, oh my God, this is insane. This is so stressful. Where's the joy out of it? And other times I'm like on a high. I'm like, this is incredible. Oh my God, I love this so much. And even in what I really like and appreciate is, even in like my low moments, even in those moments, when I actually am doing the actual work, like for me in my case, like mixing, when I'm actively mixing, all of it just gets thrown to the back of my mind, and I am able to like feel extremely creative and to feel fulfilled and have the biggest smile on my face. So now it's just all about, for me, working on like the coolest music that inspires me the most and trying to make that a constant for me right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is incredible. So I know I've taken up a whole chunk of everybody's evening, so I wanted to thank all of you for your help. But before we go, Kenli, if somebody listening, wants to get involved with Play It Back, either as a, somebody who's been diagnosed with cancer, or a musician maybe who wants to be an ambassador, what's the best way for them to reach out and get involved in the Play It Back program?
I think the website's the easiest way. You go to teencanceramerica.org and you can click on the Play It Back program. That's the best way, is to find all of our emails and the application. If you're someone who's an AYA who's interested in being in the Play It Back program, if you want to help out, obviously you can donate at teencanceramerica.org. You just got to do the drop down that says Play It Back Music Program. And truthfully, we do get a lot of instrument donations, which is really nice. But really where we get specific is everyone's got to record their vocals, right? So you see this microphone, this Apogee Hype mic vocal mic that I'm using today.
Yes.
Those kind of things. These have been, actually this one was bought for us by Benny Blanco, who bought a lot of people their microphones, who's a friend of the program.
Oh, wow.
But we need more of those. Elissa has her SM, a Beta 58. Is that what that is? It's a pretty nice
86.
86. It's a condenser mic. It's a live condenser mic, but it's good enough to record with. You know, Nathan has a bunch of Apogee gear. Savannah has some Apogee gear. Actually, I think Savannah might have bought her own Apogee gear. Yeah, but anyway, so those kind of things are really helpful. So if anyone wants to contribute by, you know, getting someone a package for their home so they can record their vocals, or maybe a software package or anything like that, that's obviously really helpful. But more than that, those are the things we could do. But I was thinking about music and our vibe for making music. And I think it really does come down to that feeling of when you're maybe in middle school and you invite your friend over to make a song. And it's like, let's do a song, you know, and you kind of imagine what it might be like to make a record. And that's kind of our vibe, you know. That's really the most fun way to approach it, is from a pure creativity point of view. Obviously, in the back of your mind, you can think you're a rock star at the time and all of those good things, but really it is just about making music for fun, and then good things come from that, as you can see from everyone here and beyond. You know, it really is, and myself as well, by the way, you know, just doing it for fun, and that tends to be the best stuff. And we've had, you know, world-class songwriters like Lauren Christie agree with us on that and do that with us, and Shelley Peiken, who actually Juan's written with both of them. We need to get you.
Oh, wow.
But Shelley Peiken wrote, you know, Christina Aguilera hits, and Lauren Christie wrote all Avril Lavigne's like 3 biggest hits from her first record. We have a lot of people like that who are friends of the program. Obviously, Benny has done a lot of stuff too. So the point being is, like, if anyone's listening, if you want to really, really do music the best way, it's to do it for yourself and have fun with it, and to admit that you didn't invent music. It was here before you. It'll be here after you, and just enjoy it, and, you know, good things will happen. So
that's awesome. And you know, like you mentioned, Shelley Peiken has been on the podcast. I mean,
okay,
it's awesome. Ooh,
my dog's excited about that.
Dog's a fan of Shelley Peiken, apparently. That's fantastic. We'll wrap up on this. So not everybody has seen the movie. Is everybody planning on watching the movie at all, or maybe seeing the sequel afterwards?
I'm planning.
Yeah. Looks like you can watch it. You can stream it on Zumo Play for free.
Oh, there you go.
Zumo Play. Interesting.
I've never heard of that. Now, I would recommend watching the first one before seeing the sequel, though. Usually works out better that way.
Yeah, Spinal Tap is a must-see for anyone who loves rock and roll, for sure.
Exactly.
And comedy.
Yeah. And Spinal Tap 2 has some really cool cameos. So, guys.
Awesome. Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah. If you're a fan of classic rock, Paul McCartney makes a cameo, and so does Elton John.
What?
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Doesn't get bigger than that.
No.
Does not get bigger than that.
So
in the new one, you
wow.
mean?
In the new one, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, but I would definitely.
I'm still watching that.
It won't make too much sense if you haven't seen the original, though. So I would definitely recommend seeing This Is Spinal Tap, and then Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues afterwards.
The End Continues.
It's amazing. Ridiculous
that
people.
Title summarizes it so well. Like the whole vibe.
Well, Evan, thank you so much. This really has been one of my favorite episodes. It's been amazing hearing the music that you guys have done. It's been amazing talking to you guys, even though we all tend to be SEC rivals. I think I can let that go. Thank you so much for everything. I really have appreciated. I really love your contributions, and definitely stay in touch, because I'd love to have you. I love to, if you guys are making music, I want to have you back on the podcast where you talk about your music. So before I let everybody go, anybody want to promote their music or what they're doing? So we'll start up. Elissa, is there anything you want to promote?
Oh man,
Spotify, YouTube,
yeah,
anything.
Sure. Yeah, so I have a few songs on Spotify, a couple more coming out soon. All I need to get is album art for them. And yeah, you can find me on all streaming platforms. Elissa Waller, ELISSA WALLER.
Excellent.
What song do you want them to check out first? Maybe a song they can search.
The latest one that came out was Before Too Long.
Ooh, we recorded that at Benny Blanco's studio in Beverly Hills. So
I just listened to that today.
There you go.
Awesome. What'd you think?
I loved it. I started following you.
Oh, awesome. All right, everyone, get me above 1,000 listens.
There we go. And I'm all right. So Juan, what about you? Anything that you'd like to promote?
Y'all can just find me on Instagram, JCR_music_. And there's always just music from loads of different artists I admire that I get to be a part of. Just keep your eyes out. There's this artist named Alameda that I am extremely excited for, that I am working on future music for. There's been some singles that have come out, and yeah, just check it out.
Excellent. All right. Nathan, you're up next.
I actually just released an EP yesterday featuring it's 5 songs that I wrote with my friend named Molly. Her stage name is Molly Mack. And so we co-wrote them. I produced them and mastered them. It was the first time I did something like that, so really proud of it. But yeah, it's on all the streaming services. I'm working on some new music too. So I hope to release more very soon.
Is it under your name, Nathan Hooper and Molly Mack, or is there a group name?
Yes, it's under my page and also under Molly Mack's page.
Okay.
So you just search up Nathan Hooper. I also have an album out that Kenli and I made together. Kenli produced it and mastered it. Yeah, so if you want to check that out, it's called Hoop De Hoop.
Nice. Love it. All right, Savannah, how about you?
Yes, I have 3 songs out on Spotify and also I think all other streaming platforms as well. And then me and Kenli are working on an album at the moment, so I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
We got some new music coming out, and you can find me at Savannah Mason, SAVANNAH Mason, and yeah, super excited.
Perfect. All right, Kenli.
Yes, I was going to say you can follow us on Instagram at Play It Back Songs. That's our handle, at Play It Back Songs. And you can go to teencanceramerica.org and look for Play It Back on there. We have, at least everyone has one song up there, a short bio, and photos, and some other photos from studios and stuff. All of our homies are up there. And yeah, don't follow me on Instagram. Just follow Play It Back Songs.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's it, right, guys? Did we forget anything? Yeah, and you can find everyone on there, and we have over, I don't know how many people we have on the website, but we have over 70 people who've come through the program.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is so great. Well, is there anything I've missed? Is there anything that I've missed that you guys want to get out before we wrap everything up?
Listen to the song on the Spinal Tap tribute. It's called The Majesty of Rock, and we think it rocks, and we hope you like it. And we're so happy that everyone seems to like it so much.
Oh,
we did it from joy and from love of music and having fun with it, and it just came out so good. And I just want to thank all you guys in front of the world for being part of it and saying yes. That's how good things happen. Just say yes to something you get a feeling about, and that's how you make things happen in your life. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's at teencanceramerica.org/products/spinal-tap. Or you just go to teencanceramerica.org and hit the shop button, and it's like the first thing that pops up. So
amazing.
And it's limited. It's only 5,000 downloads, so jump on it.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So thanks again for having us, and thanks so much for asking us to do this. We had a blast. Thanks so much for the support and telling people about us.
There's a pulse in the newborn sun, a beat in the heat of noon. There's a song as the day grows long, and a tempo in the tides of the moon. It's all around us and it's everywhere, and it's deeper than royal blue. And it feels so real, you can feel the feeling.
And that's the majesty of rock, the fantasy of rope, the ticking of the clock, the wailing of the soul, the prisoner in the dark, the digger in the hole. We're in this together and ever. In the shade of a jungle glade, or the rush of the crushing street, on the plain, on the foamy main, you can never escape from the beat. It's in the mud and it's in your blood, and its conquest is complete. And all that you can do is just surrender to the majesty of rock, the pageantry of roll, the crowing of the cock, the running of the fall, the shepherd with his flock, the miner with his coal. We're in this together and lovers.
When we die, do we hunt the sky? Do we lurk in the murk of the seas? What then? Are we born again? Just to sit asking questions like these? I know, for I told me so, and I'm sure each of you quite agrees.
The more it stays the same, the less it changes.
And that's the majesty of rock, the mystery of gold, the dawning of the sun, the scoring of the goal. The farmer takes a wife, the barber takes a pole.